Four former Michigan football players are suing the NCAA and the Big Ten Network for $50 million. The lawsuit argues the players, Denard Robinson, Braylon Edwards, Mike Martin, and Sean Crable, were unlawfully denied NIL earnings during their careers. Now, NIL earnings, if you're not familiar, money made by the players for their name, image, and likeness. In 2021, the NCAA changed its rules and started allowing players to be paid for appearances and sponsorships. Joining me now is Braylon Edwards, one of the players suing the NCAA and Big Ten. Thanks for being on with us this afternoon.
For sure, I appreciate you having me.
This was such a talker. I mean, just across the country and everybody weighing in. And then when we found out it was happening for current players, I think a lot of people started retrospectively looking back at people like you. What are you looking for to come out of this?
I think the big thing, too, for us is, you think back to what we could have made then, whether it was Mike, whether it was Denard, who was on the cover of the NCAA the last time they had it before this season with 25. You look back at the money that could have been made, the jersey sales and things of that nature. But you say, hey, you know what? We missed the cutoff. It's not 2021. It's not 2016. But they're still showing our highlights. They're still showing our clips, whether it's Big Ten Network, whether it's Fox, whether it's other networks. They still show our highlights. They still show our games. But there's new marketing. There's new sponsorship dollars on these commercials that are running. So it's like, let me see if there's a way in which we can make something happen.
Were you frustrated then as a college student? Did you feel like you should be being paid for some of these appearances, scholarships, your play-by-plays just airing across the country day in, week out? Was it a frustration in the moment or more so now?
I think it's more so now. I think for maybe Denard and Mike has a situation when he was playing, he put his face on his shirt and started selling the shirts, nothing with the U of M logo, nothing with NCAA, just his face on some shirts. He made some good money, and then they put a cease and desist on him. Denard Robinson had a similar incident that happened where they had a guy with shoelace T-shirts outside the big house, and he asked for one, said, hey, can me and my family have some? This is his face. This is his name. He had to pay for those. So I think for them it was. For me, it was just how NCAA compliance was on campus. They treated me and my family as such because I have 4 parents. We had money. They treated me like they had me in the offices and said, hey, how are you afforded this car? How are you affording that car? So I saw what the NCAA was then, and now you put this all together, and I'm here.
Now, you had so much success afterwards, but that's not the case for everyone. So you went on to make that money for your name, your image, your likeness. But there are certainly a handful of players that somebody was making the money off of them. It wasn't them, and then they didn't go on to play professionally. Can you kind of speak to that?
Yeah, I look at an incident like Maurice Claret. Maurice Claret played at The Ohio State University. Boo. But anyway, when Maurice was there, the NCAA challenged his ruling. He won in civil court that he could come out after a freshman year. NCAA goes and challenges that, and then they win in Supreme Court. Now Maurice Claret has to sit out 2 years. That's what the NCAA mandated. Then they gave him a 3rd game. Then they gave him a 4th game. Then he ended up not playing the rest of his time, and he got into a pretty violent life. He got into a pretty, life that would not have been there if the NCAA wouldn't have been the corrupt organization that they've been for years. I mean, Brian Bosworth, who played at Oklahoma in the 80s, he had a T-shirt on the sideline, NCAA stands for, and I can't say the words on TV, but this has been going on for a very long time. I think a lot of people have been shunned by the NCAA, and they're going to get all that they deserve.
My last question for you is a bit twofold. Was it nerve-wracking going up against the NCAA? And second part of that question, what sort of impact do you think it would have on the NCAA if you win?
No, it wasn't nerve-wracking. The nerve-wracking part for me was just making sure that people knew it wasn't a lawsuit against the University of Michigan. University of Michigan.
Clearly, as you're decked out today.
100% as you should be. But they did completely right by me, by the rules, so it's not against them. It is the NCAA. So I wanted people to know that that was the nerve-wracking side of things. But no, it isn't a nerve-wracking case at the end of the day. I remember when concussion case first came out with the NFL, people were like, oh, no, you signed the contract, you signed the dotted line. Like, that's what it's supposed to be. We don't agree. Now look back at the concussion settlement in the case. People are lobby on the side of players and the things they went through. So we're really to take the blunt. We're really to be on the first lines of defense. But we'll eventually get to the rest of these players, and maybe this can start something for other players, other former players, getting what they are owed. They're still showing our highlights. They still have us in stores. I've been gone 20-plus years.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, I hope you celebrated last season. Are you ready to be a loyal fan this one?
My dad played for Michigan. I'm true blue. Look, it's not looking good, but hey, look, we're reigning, defending national champs, and we're going to ride that into the sunset.
He said that looking into the camera.
What?
All right, he meant every word of it. Braylon Edwards, thanks so much.
For sure, thank you for
We
having me.
appreciate it.